Here is a simple one marker question for you. That is, where is the disguised unemployment mostly found? Very simple. It's mostly found in rural areas. Okay. Now comes a three marker question, that is, explain disguised unemployment with two examples, one from urban areas and other from rural areas. In this question, you need to explain disguised unemployment in context with urban areas and rural areas, right? So, first of all, disguised unemployment is your hidden unemployment. Try to write your answers in paragraphs or in point forms so that it can fetch you more marks, right? Disguised unemployment is a kind of unemployment in which some people look like being employed but are actually not employed fully, right? More people are engaged than required. When the surplus workers are removed, the production remains unaffected. So, this is your explanation, this is your primal meaning of disguised unemployment, right? Now comes example in context of rural areas. So, most often, all the members of a family are engaged on the same piece of land, as we have already read more about it in our earlier videos. If a few members are withdrawn, production will not fall. So, the members who are withdrawn are in the situation of disguised unemployment. Remember the concept of being extra? So, that extra is your disguised unemployment. Now, in urban areas, disguised unemployment can be seen in service sector, right? For example, your painters, repair person, plumbers, etc. are doing odd jobs. Many of them do not find work on daily basis. For example, there is a shop which require only two persons for handling it. But if there are three servants and one owner to look after the shop, then this shows that two servants are in the situation of disguised unemployment. I think the topic is well clear to you. I won't say that this question can come straight away, but a question like this can come in your examination. So be ready for it. Okay? Now comes another three marker question that is very important from your exam point of view. Why does disguised employment not help in productivity of a country? Explain with the help of an example. First of all, try to analyze the question first. What you'll find here that answers itself mentioned in the question. That is your disguised employment not help in productivity of a country. And the answer to this is that extra people, the surplus people, never ever add to the productivity of the country, right? What we have to do is we have to explain this point further. Here I'm using is flowchart. If you are interested, you can make flowcharts in your examination, right? Or you can write simple points. Try to write your points in paragraph forms or in simple point forms so that examiner can relate better what you want to convey in your answer. More people are employed than required. This is the concept of a disguised employment, right? Extra people are removed, it won't affect on production. Okay? As they seem to be employed, but actually they are not employed. Why there is no increase in production? Because efforts are not economy, as workforce is not utilized to its potential. Very clear? Now comes to your example. Very famous example from our rural areas only. That is, in rural areas, the entire family is engaged in production of crops on the same piece of land. If there are 9 people in the family, 4 people can manage the production. If the extra 5 people are removed, the productivity will be the same. They seem to be making no contribution. Very important. They seem to be making no contribution. Hence, it is truly stated that disguised or hidden employment does not help in productivity of a country. In our earlier video, we have already discussed the ways to increase employment opportunities in rural areas. Even that is your very important, because certain times a question on ways to improve employment opportunities in rural areas can also come. So be ready for that also, right? Now let's talk about this question. As we all know that unemployment is a major problem in India, right? Urban unemployment refers to unemployment that exists in urban areas, correct? Why this is happening? This is happening because The size of organized industrial or service sector is not big enough to employ all the educated adult people in urban areas. What we get here is that the population is increasing at a rapid pace, but we do not have that much of jobs to suit that rising population. So that is your basically insufficient economic development. Correct? We have education system which is degree oriented, not job oriented. Like we promise that degree would be given like once you pass out your college or once you pass out your school, but that degree doesn't promise job. That is once again your defective system of education. Now, slow growth of industrialization. Even industries are not opening that much to meet the rising demand of the population. We have less industrial growth rate, correct? Population is rising. We have a lot of educated people. We have a lot of workers even, but we do not have that much of industries to meet the demand of that rising population. So, what could be the solutions for it? Like we can have certain reforms in our education system. We can make our education system in a way that promises jobs, not only degrees. We can make it more vocational at the school stage, right? You know, vocational school is a type of post secondary education that trains students for specific line of work, correct? When we talk about vocational schools, they are different from typical 4-year college because the programs here are less academic and more job focused. So, what here we mean is that vocational are basically like imbibing the skills in children. It's not only imparting them the curriculum or teaching them the entire curriculum. It's like giving them teaching about certain skills which they can sharpen and make progress on them once they clear their 12th or 10th, right? So that they can have a direct source of income by polishing those skills in the later stages of their life, correct? Concrete action will have to be taken to promote decentralization and disposal of industrial activity. It should not be that we have industries in a particular location. We should have proper disposal of industries in all the locations of the country so that all the workers and all the laborers will get employment opportunities, correct? There should be proper promotion of small scale industries because once there is promotion of small scale industries, handcraft, handloom, a lot of people would get employment opportunities from there as well, correct? We should develop a technique of production that can be taken up with low intensity. Like, the technique of production should be in a way that people can start with small businesses also. Cheap credit should be provided from the banks so that they can start their business at small level with low capital investment. So these are certain measures which could be opted out for it, correct?